There's the Heir of Carthage bringing you a Rome Total War online commentary battle. See my general there marching with his troops. I'm playing as the Julii Romans, and I've tried to bring about as decent a Roman army as I can. Up front I have 6 units of legionary cohorts. I have a Roman armored general, 4 units of auxiliary Roman cavalry, and then I also have I think 6 units of archer auxilia. Yeah, so I brought a lot of archers because my units aren't that strong, and I expected my opponent to bring a lot of urbans. Instead, he's brought legionary first cohorts, which can actually hold their own with urbans sometimes, so I'm glad I brought as many archers as I did. My opponent has 4 units of praetorian cavalry, none of which are upgraded, but they are still more than a match for my Roman cavalry. Now my legionary cohorts are very well upgraded. You'll notice that none of his cohorts are. He's got a couple of triarii up front to absorb my missile fire, just as well as I have a unit of archer auxilia to absorb missile fire. And my opponent has 2 urbans in the rear as well for reinforcements. So he's got a very tough army, but I have a few advantages that I can try and exploit. He first charges in his triarii, basically as a meat shield, and now we're going to start exchanging pilla. We both get in some good throws. Some of his throws are going towards the center though, and I think he's actually killing some of his own men as well as mine. So he did about as much damage to himself as he did me, so that was fortunate. And then he's going to charge in his legionary first cohorts, and that unit routing there is actually my archer auxilia. It's not a unit of my heavy infantry. So anyway, let's take a look. The cavalry fight hasn't started, but I believe it's going to soon. So our infantry are locked into mortal combat here, and mine have more upgrades. He outnumbers me, and also is going to have a morale bonus due to his legionary standards. So I need to take some action. So as you can see, I take my general with 3 of my Roman cavalry, and then I split 1 Roman cavalry off to my left flank. And basically I only sent 1 of my Roman cavalry because I want him to not worry about it. And so I come over here to offer some bait, basically, for his cavalry to attack, and all the while I'm going to be shooting flame arrows into his horses in an attempt to demoralize them. So here I go, I'm going to charge onto his praetorians here, and I've got my general here for support. I split off this unit basically to slow down these praetorians so that I can finish the job here. Unfortunately for me, one of his units of praetorians locks onto my infantry. Now if we come over here, you can see that I'm trying to do some hammer and anvil work with my Roman cavalry, but they're not very strong, so it's going to take some effort. But any effort or any damage I can do is going to be beneficial, because you can see my battle line is stretched precariously thin in some situations. So my line is doing good in some places and not so good in others. So I'm just trying to even the odds with my Roman cavalry. I'm not looking for any quick knockout blows. So he knocked out my unit of Roman cavalry that was screening. And there you can see his general was about to die. Yep, general just kicked the bucket.
General is slain, and now his men fear us. It is time to press the attack.
Having this general here made all the difference. The whole reason I brought the Roman general was to try and keep my Roman cavalry from breaking too easily. And sure enough, they're performing their duties excellent. The general must be inspiring them well. And then not to mention that armored general unit of the Romans is tough. So here I've routed his right flank, and now I can start to wrap up, but he's done major damage to my center, so there's not much to wrap up on. More or less we're just meeting our forces in the middle. But here I bring in a combined infantry and cavalry hammer and anvil that causes a chain rout there in the center. So fortunately for me, I was able to rout his center, and then that made his flank, his left flank rout as well. And then look at this, my Roman cavalry has absolutely stood their ground against Praetorian cavalry. That was amazing. If I had some kind of award to give these auxiliary men, I would. If I was their general, I would have given them a major major bonus. That was amazing. So that was a victory for me. It was well played by my opponent. He had an interesting army. It wasn't all urbans. Now granted, it was all legionary first cohorts, but still it was different. It was interesting. And I'm really proud of my men in this battle for pulling off the victory they did. Didn't feel like I did anything spectacular as a commander, even though my men are electronic and not real. I have to say my archers probably ended up playing a major role in that battle. I did have a lot of them. So I deployed 1,132 men, I had 1,236 kills, and my opponent Mar Q941 deployed 1,395 men and had 446 kills. And good game to my opponent, and I hope you enjoyed the video.